When I lived in my first apartment, one of my few possessions was a small television. This was before forced digitalization by the government, and the television only received a few channels. One channel, simply marked Component 1, caught my attention immediately. I don't know how or why, but this channel displayed security camera feeds from some high school in silent grayscale. The feed would cycle through different cameras around the building. At first I thought the school might be the high school near my apartment, though having a private televisions accidentally pick up these security feeds seemed to be like something you could easily prevent it by using a closed circuit. It was especially confusing. Why would it show up on my TV's component channel? But certain camera feeds, especially from the parking lots outside of the building, made it clear that the school was not that local. I never figured out where the school was, but I developed a voyeuristic fascination for the feed. I understood the phenomenon of people watching. There was something strangely gripping about being a fly on the wall was what people would go about their daily lives. Like you're stalking NPCs in a video game. Like I said, my television didn't get that many channels, so I had often had Component 1 running around the background while doing other things. One time while I was watching the feed, an earthquake had happened at the school. I didn't feel it, confirming that the school was not near me. The camera shook, objects fell, and I saw students and staff running for the shelter. The shaking stopped after a few moments, and after a couple of minutes, the evacuation began. While everyone was filing into the hallways and leaving the building, there was an aftershock. The aftershock was worse. People were knocked down and ceilings in some rooms collapsed. Some of the cameras went dark. The aftershock ended and the evacuation continued, but sometimes I would catch a glimpse of someone who was injured and unable to move or consciousness. Some cameras I was familiar with were only now recording a small corner of the room, having been knocked off center by the quake. Smoke began filling the several rooms and corridors, especially the cafeteria. Gas line up rupture. One shot of the front of the parking lot showed smoke blowing out of the building. I could also see that cars had drifted and the power lines had been knocked down. Horrified, I flipped through the other channels to find coverage of the event, but there was none. No breaking news and no even scheduled news programs said anything about the earthquake or a school fire. I switched back to Component 1. By now, most of the cameras were completely filled with smoke. I saw the first responders start to enter the building and start pulling out people. I thought maybe I could help by showing someone the feed on my TV. I called the police, hoping they could contact emergency services whenever the school was in case of the security feed was inaccessible and they could use the information. The dispatcher was confused about what I was trying to convoy, but the two officers did come to visit me. While I was waiting for them to arrive, there was another tremor. I saw debris fall on top of the first responders, and after a few seconds, the feed went entirely dark. The police thought I was playing a prank, and they told me that there were no reports of a major earthquake anywhere in North America, let alone school disaster. I had asked them to find out about the rest of the world, and they checked and told me there were no reports from anywhere else either. I never got back to Component 1 feed, and to this day, I have been unable to find any reports of a school earthquake disaster from that date. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.